thing. I was supposed to have 3 minutes.
Sir, thank you. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
It's the JR Show from Studio 99 at the American General Media Complex. On air at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Online at kernradio.com. Now, here is your host, JR.
Top of the... you got to plug it in. Helps if you plug it in first, Chris. I remember my first day on the radio.
It's a Friday.
Goodness gracious. Top of the day to you. This is the JR Show. I am your host, JR Flores. You're listening to Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. Download the Kern Radio app to your smart device and also stream it on YouTube. Just head over to YouTube, search up Kern Radio. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and go live with us every single day. You can watch us right here in the studio, myself, followed by the Ralph Bailey Show. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just look up Kern Radio. I am also out there, JR Flores, or why not JR? It is a What the Faith Friday. So we have a guest, Pastor Manuel Carrizales with Stay Focused Ministries is going to come by. I saw him about a week and a half ago at the Officer of the Year Awards and told him that I wanted to speak to him about the recent rash of violence involving teens and young adults, that it seemed like it was every Monday almost where I was waking up and another young adult or a teenager died in some sort of shooting or found dead somewhere. And I just, he has his ear to the street. So if there's anybody to find out what's going on, it would be Pastor Manny, and he'll come by and talk about faith, how it saved his life and how he uses it to impact some of those kids out there in the streets. We'll also talk about the update from the Maddison Williams trial that's been going on for the last couple of days. I'll tell you what her defense is trying to do to claim that she wasn't as drunk as both the breathalyzer and the blood alcohol test. The blood test showed the same results, but he is trying to basically poke holes in both of those. We'll tell you what's being said in court, as I believe they've just returned from their lunch recess. We'll tell you all the things that are going on this weekend as well. Plenty of things to do. The weather's going to be beautiful, so get on out. But I must start with what is the lead on today's Bakersfield Californian. Let me reach over here for those of you that are watching on the YouTubes. You can see I have a copy of today's Bakersfield Californian in my hand, and what has made today's cover is Woolworths. Well, of course it's Woolworths. They've been doing soft openings all week. What's the big deal about that, JR? Well, it just so happened that in the shot they used for Woolworths is yours truly right there, Chris. The front page. Look, Mom, I made it. I'm on the front page. She's probably listening at home like, oh, yeah, that's good, mijo. You made it on the front page. Make sure you bring home a copy for me. I walked into the Californian to buy a copy. They had stacks of them left, Chris. So I don't know if the fans have realized that I made the front page and they can go out and get a copy if they like. It's funny because our host in the morning, you know, the bald guy that sits here in the morning, he was sitting 2 chairs to the left of me. My best friend Steven was just to the left of me. Scott Cox, host of First Look with Scott Cox, was 2 seats over to that. He's the one in the pink hat. That's all you can see. You can see the big bulging back of Scott Cox. But it almost looks like there's a Ninja Turtle sitting a couple seats down from me. All you see is this big old bulky back and a pink hat. That's Scott Cox. But they also spoke with Scott Cox, and I read through the article, Chris, and read all the way down the front page. You know, the original lunch counter is still here. These are the original bar stools, said JR Flores, host of the JR Show on Curtin Radio. Came with his girlfriend. It says it right there. I didn't see the quote from Scott, so I don't know if maybe Mr. Mayor lost that part of the tape or Scott didn't give a good enough, quote to use. He doesn't say many things, that gentleman. Takes up 3 hours of the airwaves in the morning. Not much out of comes out of his mouth. But yeah, go get a copy. And Woolworths, I heard, was open again today. So if you get a chance to go down, I'm not allowed to say that or that they're open late. So Steven's probably in there always mad at me whenever. It's like, why do I even tell JR? Why do I even tell him? But get down there, you guys. I'll be in there again next week. They'll probably do some more soft openings. I'm going to take Chris in because Chris didn't get to go with us yesterday. I'm going to buy Chris his first hamburger from Woolworths, and I'll get the Reuben this time.
That's on tape.
It's on tape. I got you. I got you. Take care of my folks. See, I drive you to Vegas. I take you to Raider games. I get you in press conferences in front of Pete Carroll. I buy you burgers at Woolworths. Who else? What other host, Chris, that you have worked with takes care of you like I do? Just saying. As he's doing stuff for Ralph Bailey, and he ain't doing stuff for me. He's doing stuff for me. I'm just messing. But yeah, get down there. It's really good. And if you get a chance to get a copy of today's newspaper, you'll see yours truly smack dab right there on the front page. The latest from the Maddison Williams trial. That is, if you don't remember, I think she's a real estate or maybe designer, interior decorator lady person that has a whole lot of money in town, basically. One day was, so she claims, mad at her boyfriend, was going to leave town and go to, where was she headed? Out to the Central Coast, the nice area, not Pismo, where the rest of you guys, average folk, go. I love y'all. She was going to the nice part. She was in a fight with her boyfriend and was leaving town, and then decided she was going to turn around and started heading back towards town out there off Taft Highway. And then ran a stop sign. Missed the other side of the house all the way through the front yard, smashed into the house, caught the house on fire, caused a skull fracture to an infant. Told the officer, I just couldn't see the stop sign. It had nothing to do, and I'm adding and paraphrasing this part, where she actually did admit to at one point having one margarita that evening before she decided to get in the vehicle. When she blew a breathalyzer that night, she was nearly twice the legal limit. And then 2.5 hours later, when they took her blood, it was still 2.5 over the legal limit. I don't know who's making your margarita, but that's a strong or a very, very big margarita. And now her defense attorney is trying to poke holes in both of those things and say, well, the breathalyzer, you see, it has to come from deep within the lungs. He even called up the CHP guy that gave the breathalyzer, who's done this hundreds of times, thousands of times. Now he's called in the forensic lab that did the work on the blood. He's trying to poke holes in that. Well, if you don't refrigerate this, couldn't it start to ferment? And the blood alcohol absorption rate, is different for everybody. And so 2.5 hours later, when you drew her blood, that doesn't mean that means she was only still under the legal limit when she smashed into that person's home, causing it to catch on fire and injuring 3 occupants inside. She was under the legal limit at that point because that one margarita that she had that ultimately led her to be over twice the legal limit 2.5 hours later, I don't think she drank, or I hope not. She drank in between the crash and getting to the hospital. That one margarita. You got over twice the legal limit 2.5 hours later. But when you decided to get in the car, no, and the toxicologist testified that, well, you probably would have had to drink probably 4 to 7 drinks, actually. They try to say, well, do you mean all at once? Or do you mean like over a period of time? Well, come on, dude. Really? Really? Yeah, she slammed all 4 margaritas at the same time. Let's go follow her on Instagram. You'll know. Because weeks later, so I've heard that she was posting stuff from her being in Mexico, having time of her life. Just weeks after the accident. And here we are 3 years later. They're trying to say that even though the breathalyzer, even though the blood test, both came back with the same results, there's no way that she could have been, no, not my client, Your Honor. You see, members of the jury, she only drank that one margarita, and at the time of the accident, she wasn't that intoxicated. And because she only had that one margarita, 2.5 hours later is when it finally kicked in for her to be twice the legal limit, because that makes perfect sense. Jason Katowski with the KGET 17 has been blogging from inside of the courtroom. He said it's been very a lot of technical speak today. Was putting the jury to sleep. At one point, he noted the jurors' eyes were closed. There was one guy that was just like, I don't know what they're saying. I don't even know what any of this means. But lady, you were intoxicated. I'm making that last part up, or the whole thing about what the juror was probably thinking, because I wasn't in the courtroom or inside that juror's head, I should say. I was all just a bit. Don't come after me, Mr. Thompson. This is 3 years past already. This lady doesn't want to take it. At the time of the accident, didn't want to take any responsibility. Now doesn't want to take any responsibility. And will probably never learn her lesson. I hope the jury sees right through all of this and that the judge actually has some backbone, I'll say, to throw the book at her, to make an example of her. Not only should you not drink and drive, but after the fact, you should just own up to it and say, you know what? Yeah, I was screwed up. It's crazy. Got to get to a break. On the other side, we'll take some of your phone calls, text messages. I mentioned the other day, and I meant to follow up, how the county was starting to give out money, just like the city. They did, to the tune of about $200,000. 23 different businesses. You guys let me know how you feel about it. 661-842-5376. 661-842-KERN. Chime in at any time. You can also jump in the chat on YouTube. Just go over to YouTube, search up Kern Radio. We're right there live. You can come along with us. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your neighbors about it, all your friends. Heck, even make your dog a YouTube account and subscribe from there. We'll do this just like they do with the voters. Oh, by the way, no on Prop 50. I'll remind you all the way until November. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, hopefully we'll be talking about the end of the government shutdown. We will talk jobs with America's Job Center of Kern. We'll do the hot list. We'll have news. We'll have traffic. We'll have weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at Newstalk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's finally Friday, and boy, do I need it. I need the stockyard in my life. I got no plans. It's time for Dad to relax. Get an adult beverage, have Haley behind the bar take care of me, maybe get me some steak bites or a shrimp cocktail, something off the menu from KC Steakhouse. You're wondering, where am I? I am at 2525 F Street, the Stockyard. Little speakeasy located right next to KC Steakhouse from the folks that brought you KC Steakhouse. Go over there. You're going to see the rope, the red carpet. Ring the bell. They're going to ask you the password. Tell them, why not JR? Then be prepared to relax. I need some Lade playing the acoustic guitar in my life to set the atmosphere for a wonderful, relaxing weekend. And I look no further than the Stockyard, 2525 F Street. Come on down and join me. Just make sure you tell them the password, why not JR?
Trucordia, a new name, but a trusted partner for Kern County businesses. With more than 100 years of combined experience, Trucordia delivers cost-saving strategies, risk-reducing solutions, and easy online tools to simplify benefits management. Trucordia goes beyond health benefits, helping your business thrive. Call Trucordia today at 661-401-2280. Trucordia, building trust, creating harmony, protecting Kern County businesses. Trucordia, 661-401-2280.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Agape Air. You know, when the air just isn't right, call the team that gets it done right. That's Agape Air, keeping homes comfortable for 18 years, locally owned and always professional. And who knows better than I? They serve my complex. From smart thermostat help to service requests, repairs, replacements, and preventative maintenance, Agape Air is prompt, knowledgeable, and delivers quality you can trust. Don't sweat it. Call Agape Air at 661-399-6600 today. Agape Air, comfort you can feel, service you can trust.
Graybeard here, host of the SolarWise radio show. Listen, nobody likes PG&E. They're outrageously expensive. Join me Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on Kern Radio, News Talk 1180.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. November 25th, Dignity Health Arena. Tickets on sale now at AXS.com. The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
Welcome back. It's not even a good picture of me, Chris. They gotta get a better, they got a better shot than that. Come on, Stephen Mayer. I'm all like looking like took a bite.
Look like that, otherwise they look fake.
Took a bite of my burger. I know it's an action shot, but man, could have got me with a little bit better of a smile. My eyes half closed. It's jacked up if you don't know what I'm talking about. The cover of the front page of the Bakersfield Californian. I made the top fold even, Chris. Look at that. So I'm right on top. It sits right there, and everybody that walks by goes, "Who was that handsome fella right there?" It's so stupid. 661-842-5376. 661-842-KERN. Hey, did you hear that they're supposed to make a live action Jetsons movie?
I heard rumors of this, but I don't know if it's actually coming.
No?
Nah. I mean, it's Hollywood. They're probably just dancing around what's the next IP to be taken and made into a movie.
Basically, because there's no original stories in Hollywood anymore.
No,
Everybody is just, everything's a remake, and if it was a cartoon, we're making it a live action.
here's the thing, though. It's not necessarily because there's no creativity either. It's because these companies just won't buy anything that's not proven to make money anymore.
Yeah, that's very true. And
So-
and everything that was cool when I was a kid is cool again,
Exactly.
basically. So you guys
Because
can
they can make money on nostalgia.
Yeah, because now
Thanks,
I'm
Disney.
now I'm 45 and I'm like, oh, the Jetsons. I remember Rosie and George and Spacely, and
I don't know exactly how legit the rumors are, but I have seen that.
there's a joke that I'm not gonna say, Chris, but I wonder who's gonna play the black guy. There. Thanks, Jetsons. Thanks. 661-842-5376. 661-842-KR. Everybody's mad at me right now. Don't be. Just look it up. Is there? No. Didn't think so. Do I have any text messages, sir?
Flintstones, you can throw into that as well.
Flintstones too.
JR,
The past and the future. I'm just saying.
Oh, is it though? There's a rumor.
Wow.
There's a
It
theory.
was all a
actually.
dream, right? It was all a
There's
dream.
actually a theory that
Everything's a
Flintstones
dream.
Is after Jetsons.
Flintstones is after Jetsons
Yeah.
now.
It's a whole thing where like
Oh
the
my
Jetsons,
gosh.
the futuristic utopia that gets destroyed, and then they become the Flintstones.
Is this one of those TikTok things?
I don't know.
It's got to be one of
No,
those
this
TikTok
predates
things.
TikTok.
Okay.
This YouTube deep cut type stuff.
Okay, it's like Pixar universe. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You start digging deep into that, and they say all the stories are related somehow on this
the Hanna-Barbera
timeline, and
universe is a real thing.
it's crazy.
They're all connected.
I'm sure that just like Marvel, it's all there. It's all there. Anything on the text messages?
Just one. JR, have you seen some of these ads that are yes on Prop 50 lying through their teeth, and they got one of them with Obama?
Yes, they do. They got Obama, and I meant to bring my ballot in because I wanted to read what they actually printed out for you to read, how they worded it, what they titled it, just to get voters who, let's be honest, are just uneducated, which a lot of rural voters are. So the only thing they know is, hi, let me tell you about Prop 50, and this is why you should vote yes. And that's the one thing they heard. And they got their ballot and go, okay, yes. Well, it seems like it. Yeah, we should be fighting back. No. We shouldn't be disenfranchising California voters to try to correct something that somebody else is. Basically, we're doing the same thing that we think somebody else is doing wrong. Texas, what you're doing is wrong. We're going to do the same to counteract you because as we've all been taught in our childhood, 2 wrongs make a right. Yes, and 4 rights make a left-hand turn. No. We are about to disenfranchise very rural parts of California. All that stuff to the north, in the Northern California that was once red, just this past election. All those counties that voted for Trump to the north are getting sucked into that Bay Area. And since there's more population in those Bay areas, now that whole community, this new redrawn congressional map is now all blue. And so what you're going to see is a bigger differential in who votes for the president and how much representation that we have in Congress. When 38% of the state is voting for Trump, but we only have 17% of the representation in Congress, tell me how that makes sense, and tell me how making it in an even wider margin makes more sense. Thank you for playing the calm music to bring me back down as I head into the break, Christopher. I appreciate that. Reminds me to just vote no on Prop 50. It belongs to an independent council, not the leaders in Sacramento. There's a reason why we took it away from them. Let's not give it back to them, because you know how it goes. Once we give something back, they don't want to give it back to us. So no, on Prop 50. On the other side, it's a What the Faith Friday. Pastor Manuel Carrizales with Stay Focused Ministries will talk about the recent violence going on in our community. with young adults and teens. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be back.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to allow the deployment of National Guard troops in the Chicago area, escalating President Trump's conflict with Democratic governors over the use of military on the U.S. soil. The emergency appeal to the High Court came after a judge prevented for at least 2 weeks the deployment of Guard members from Illinois and Texas to assist immigration officers. The military wing of Hamas says it will hand over the remains of a hostage late Friday. The Qassam brigades did not say whose remains would be handed over, only that they were pulled out earlier in the day. It did not say where the remains will be handed over. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 238 points, the Nasdaq rose 117. More details at srnnews.com.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. The Bakersfield Police Department released the crime statistics from September. The report shows nearly 59,000 calls came into the Bakersfield Police Department Communications Center during the month, and almost 22,000 of those were 911 calls. The police department reports they received 4 calls regarding homicides, 148 regarding vehicle thefts, 116 burglary calls, and 111 aggravated assault complaints. A hearing for mental health diversion motion for former Kern County Supervisor Zach Scrivener was delayed until mid-December. Scrivener is facing 5 felony accusations. If the motion is granted, it could lead to no jail time for Scrivener. I'm John Shearer in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The annual enrollment period for Medicare is here. That means that it is time for you to select your Medicare plan for 2026. This annual enrollment period, choose a name you already trust. Select Kern Family Healthcare Medicare, DSNP, a new option for people who have both Medicare and Medi-Cal. For over 29 years, Kern Family Healthcare has been a trusted name in Medi-Cal. Now, we're here to support your Medicare journey too. Call 1-866-661-3767. Again, that's 1-866-661-3767. Or visit www.kernfamilyhealthcare.com/Medicare to learn more and enroll. Start your Medicare journey with local care you trust. Choose Kern Family Healthcare. Kern Family Healthcare Medicare is an HMO DSNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the California Medicaid program. Enrollment in Kern Family Healthcare Medicare HMO DSNP depends on contract renewal.
The Ralph Bailey Show, weekdays from 3 till 6 p.m.
Here's the crazy thing. So the Philly pitcher kind of lost track of what was going on because he clearly could have thrown out Andy Pages at first base. But here's the crazy thing. Had he made a correct throw to home plate, Kim is out because Kim missed the play. And now it's on to Wisconsin or perhaps the great state of Illinois.
On News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
I don't think so. I'll check it out right now. Welcome back. It is What the Faith Friday on the JR Show. You're listening to Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. You can download the Kern Radio app to your smart device. You can also check us out on YouTube, streaming live. Just check us out on YouTube. Let's go to over there and search up Kern Radio and hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and you can come along with us. We got Pastor Manuel Carrizales on the phone. He is with Stay Focused Ministries. I had run into him about a week and a half ago at the Officer of the Year dinner, and we were having a discussion about the recent rash of violence involving teens and young adults. I said, man, it feels like every Monday I wake up, I hear about another kid that's been shot or a body that's been found, and it's what is going on in our community. And I said, I'm just going to have to bring you on. And so, what better day than a What the Faith Friday? Welcome to the program, Pastor Manuel Carrizales. How's it going, man?
Good, buddy. Great to hear you, and we appreciate you having us. You guys.
I appreciate you always coming on. I've known you for what, over 15 years now, Pastor?
Yeah, I've gone through with you through different hairdos and different mustaches and everything.
I think you did know me before the mustache. That is crazy. Man, we ran into each other, like I said, about a week and a half ago. We were having a conversation. I mentioned to you, it just feels like every Monday that I wake up, there's been more violence, and not just violence, but violence between young adults or teenagers. What is going on out here?
You know, it's been an uptick. You know, we've been able to, curb the violence, us and a few other organizations. But what's happened is that, we've focused a lot on the adults and young adults, but we sometimes overlook the younger ones. And this is where it's all happening. And so, we're just like, doing the circus act, man. You're juggling all these different things, and bam, you got this here. So we jumped on it. We put everything else down and got after it. And we've been working with a lot more with the youth and young kids. I'll say 12 years old. I have a young man that, he's in my program. He's 12 years old, and he's already been shot.
Wow.
And he won't hesitate to shoot back, if you get him that way. And we've been mentoring, helping him, and change has happened. But my point is that that's just not one. There are many kids out there that are angry. And, we're doing everything we can to mentor and help and curb that, through our different programs and outlets that we have. But it's just being there for them, So we have different activities, different programs. We did start a new program we call Interaction, and it's our music mentorship program.
Did you say music mentorship?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that.
Music 101. So what we're doing is they're making beats, they're rapping, songwriting, DJing, instruments, recording tech, and also worship as far as worship workshops. So what we're doing is, the thing is that when they come in, because a lot of these kids already rap.
Yeah.
And they're all putting on social media, but it's all this, MF, that, this, all the other stuff, So we're trying to keep everything positive. And so what we want to do is change their lingo, their attitude, and their heart content as far as what they're able to do versus being angry. I get it. But the thing is that you got to guide them. You got to basically, mentor them and navigate them.
Yeah, and it's on a whole different level than what it was. Even 15 years ago, not just when I was a kid.
It's absolutely, because that's what a lot of these shootings are over rap videos. What they're doing is they're making rap, disrespecting each other, disrespecting neighborhoods, and they're putting on social media. And they brought it down to street level. First it was Hollywood level, now it's street level.
Yeah, they just want to get, the social media famous so they can get all the likes and all the views and get people to and they think that's how they're going to get famous. That's how they're going to, make money and get out the hood and try to be one of these rappers on TV.
Yeah. And, the thing is that, where we're at, you just heard the music walking by my office right now. The thing is that a lot of these kids, man, they're all into that. And I get it. And like you said, they want to be famous and popular, but we want to be effective. And that's where the difference come in. And I share with them about vision, purpose, and that they were born for such a time as this to do great things, So we changed their outlook on where they're trying to shoot for, but we give them a different direction and we guide them. So there's principles that we have that we lay down when they come into this program. And we have a full-blown studio where these kids can come and record, make music, but it has to be positive. They got to write some stuff down and, listening, learning, and also, man, being responsible. So their attitudes start changing. So we've been having some success, man, to where, some of these kids that have been shot already have been coming to the program. The ones that have lived.
Right.
And we got them in our program, man. And then we got kids, man, that just want to do stuff, just want to play instruments that can't afford them or never been on them. And we got a guy back here that's been a DJ that's traveled the world, that was traveling with Cube and Dre and Snoop and all these guys back in the 90s. Been the Source magazine. You might want to have him on your program one day because he's been there and done it, and got a lot of information that can maybe help some of the kids out there as far as music and doing all this,
Yeah, and you guys got him there helping out the kids?
Yeah, he's one of my staff.
Wow.
Yeah, and he kind of stepped away from all that, and now he's doing it full time now. But on the other note, we go out there and get them. We go out there and do the outreaches in the neighborhoods, as you know, and that's the way that we give a hook to the program as well. And then those kids that want to get out of the gangs, they come to our program and they jump with us, and then we just, basically navigate them, help them to get out of the gangs. It's people think it's hard, but it's not. Once you start getting locked in, you got people to help you and basically walk with you through it. You'd be okay. And we've done a lot of that with a lot of different youth and men that want to get out of gangs and that were able to walk away,
Yeah. And like I said, it's gotta be even harder now today though, because before you could kind of take them out of their environment for a while. And by that, I mean, take them literally out of their neighborhood into somewhere else for a little bit. But now it goes with them everywhere they are because of their devices.
No, you're right.
And so they're constantly surrounded by this negative influence on them that is constant, I guess, just constantly circling them and everywhere they go.
Exactly. And that's where, in mentoring them and sharing with them about their purpose and their goals. And the reason for I say that, because if they got a goal and they're able to stick on and stay on it, then that's their focus versus everything else. And so, having a mentor in your life, there's an accountability. And we've seen a lot of success. We have a lot of success stories. But going back to these shootings that have happened, we've done a few of these funerals recently. I did. And working with victims that have been shot, that lived, that are coming to the program. And so we're trying to, do what we can on our end, but it's just taking a chunk at a time,
Oh yeah.
Staying on top of it, because we do go to probation schools. We do go to Bridges, juvenile, crossroads, so we hit all the areas that are all hot for, I'll say, a nest potential gang members and gang members that we're able to turn around. And even before going and reaching the ones that are at risk and high risk, that are potential gang members, that we're trying to curb that violence and get them focused on their goals and their dreams.
You've been doing this for a long time, Pastor. Do you see do you see more violence now among the teens and the young adults than you did in the past?
What I see today is senseless. I see today is it's like this. This is the way it works today, JR. If there's three of us, okay? Three of us hang out, we're friends. And there's a guy that has all the bling and all the money. We'll just take from him versus going to rob somebody else or just shoot him. That's the way they work on the streets today. There's no loyalty. And that's what's happening today. You got friends setting up friends because they have money, they have jewelry or drugs. Before, we looked out for each other. Before, we took care of each other. If I didn't have any food or you had a need, we meet that need. But today, it's just lawlessness.
Yeah, it's all about that me, 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 me.
Yeah, and that's sad because it's lawlessness and it's selfishness. And then when these guys get busted, now they're crying wolf and everything. And well, I didn't mean it. Yeah, well, you did what you did, and that's too late now. And so, I look at some of the stuff that's happening, and it's just really sad. The parents will tell me, well, it was his friend, or it was a guy down the street, or all these different things, and it's really terrible. And times have changed, JR. They're not the same no more, bro. There ain't no rules no more. One of the things I told this politician that was talking to me, I told him, I said, there's no safety zones anymore in our city. There's no safe zones here in Kern County. It's all over the city.
Yeah.
And so, we live in a different time, and now this happened to me personally. This happened to me 2 weeks ago on a Sunday. I'm at the gas station gassing up, right? And I see two guys walking, and then I turn my side to the right to put the pump in the tank. And as I started gassing up, man, this guy came from nowhere and hit me in the side of my eye. Clocked me, right? And he took off running, and he started yelling, "You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused." And he knew who I was, and I said,
apparently, if he was yelling that, he knew exactly who you were, man. Because I was about to say he didn't know who he was messing with.
Yeah. So anyway, I was in the second. I caught myself, and I'll say this. I'll be honest with you. I'm only human, but I said, "Hey, we ain't gonna finish the dance."
Right.
And he just kept running. There was another guy, and then I caught myself, and I yelled out, I said, "Hey, I want you to know God loves you, man. God loves you."
There you go.
And then, for the whole week, I had a black eye. And so the staff looking at me and everything, and I say, you know what? We just gotta be very, very cautious in our surroundings now, because this happened within a second.
Yeah, and before you would walk those streets, Manny, and everybody knew who you were and respected you, respect what you did, respected that you weren't there to turn on them or turn them in. You were there to help them and try to lift them up and get them out the streets.
Yeah, so I get it. I do. So I tell people now, you got to be really cautious of your surroundings. But most of all, you got to ask God's protection over your life.
Yeah, you do. Do you think it's the lack of accountability of these kids that end up killing somebody? They jump somebody and they killed them, and now they're going to do only 4 years or maybe only 5 or 6 years. Do you think that plays into it? Like they just don't care. I'll go do the 4 years. I'll do the 6 years. I'll be out before I'm even 25.
Yeah, there's no consequences for their actions. And we saw this a few years back when they started putting these policies into position. Prop 47 and these other ones. You're going to let guys out early, letting all these guys out of prison. I get it. Wait a minute. Let me back up here. See, I was in prison. I did 10 years. I never complained or blamed anybody for what I had done, because I took what I had coming to me. Didn't, blame society or nothing. But today, you got everybody telling on each other. You got all these sensitive need yards in prison. 85% of the population that are incarcerated now are in SNY yards, in other words, sensitive need yards. But if you don't know what they are, they're called PC yards, protective custody.
Yeah.
So all these guys have dropped all information on each other, and first they're this or that, they're hardcore. Now they're crying wolf. I get it. But the problem is that them doing all these crimes and everything, society has, policies have given them more slap on the hand, and I got guys coming to my program that have been arrested with guns, guys that are teenagers, and they only did, a month in juvenile.
Yeah.
And they send them to us. So it's like, I'll work with them and trying to help them, but it doesn't make any sense, because it's easier for them to go out there and do it again.
That I think that's a big part of the problem. And I'm not saying you got to lock these kids up forever because they are young and they're dumb and they're making mistakes, And I'm not saying let's lock them up and throw away the key, but doing 4 years, they're not worried about, especially for killing somebody. They ain't worried about that.
Yeah, and see, that's where you catch, you got to really catch yourself and say, man, look at, man, this guy took somebody's life, or she did, and I get it, I do.
Yeah, and they could be remorseful, and they could find God, and they could do that, but they can also do that from behind jail and still serve their time.
Yeah, and so, I know that people have been fighting for laws and stuff, but I'm just doing the best I can with what I have.
That's right. You're out there every day in the streets, Manny.
Yeah, no, we I'm not just we really are. We do back here in the back of Stay Focused, feeding the homeless, reaching these gang members, reaching these potential gang members that come to my office in the back, knock on my back door, come through the alley. This is every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And my staff can concur with me, but, as much as we do, and then also that this place is like an ER. People that are walking on their last leg, man, that need help, and people that are coming here all loaded, and also basically all strung out on fentanyl or heroin or whatever, meth. And we've seen everything, and it's constant. This doesn't stop. It's all day. And so, we got to really prepare our hearts, because this is like nonstop. And if you don't prepare your heart, it can wear on you.
Yeah, it certainly can. Well, I'll keep you and your whole team in prayers for safety out there, and just thanks for all that you're doing. If somebody knows a troubled teen or young adult, or just anybody out in the neighborhood that might be looking for help, how did they get a hold of Stay Focused?
They can call us, bro. 661-322-HOPE. That's 661-322-4673. Or they can come to our offices right here at 1225 California, 2 blocks east of Chester.
Right on. Thank you for again for everything that you do in the community, Pastor. Thank you that you've done for everything for me personally, and just thanks for coming on. I appreciate your time.
All right, brother. Have a great week. I love you guys.
You too, brother. I'll see you at church on Sunday, sir.
All right. See you at the top. God bless.
God bless you. Pastor Manuel Carrizales, he is with Stay Focused Ministries. If you guys know a troubled teen or youth or anybody out there, get a hold of them. Stay Focused Ministries right there on California Avenue down the street from us. 322-HOPE. Got to take a break. On the other side, we'll take your questions, comments, phone calls, text messages, YouTube chat room, all of that. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN, or search us up on YouTube at Kern Radio. This is the JR Show. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Monday's Armstrong and Getty show. I guarantee there'll be news about Trump, Zelensky, and Putin. And Hamas has been given a lot of ultimatums.
Are we at war with Venezuela?
Special for their furry friends, or maybe consider either adopting or fostering a dog.
Right.
In addition, the SPCA holding a low-cost microchip and vaccination clinic Saturday, October 25th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. $20 each for a microchip or vaccine. Now is a great time to adopt a pet from the Bakersfield SPCA. Join Sangera Subaru in supporting this worthwhile cause during the Subaru Loves Pet Month. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and
Or tell
exclusions at
them, no, thank you.
endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine
You
repair,
should.
would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? Back now.
Also, apparently, there's more validity to this Jetsons movie than I thought.
Yeah. Rick Bentley will tell you.
Fast free quote today. Call 800-298-2007. That's 800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
King Door Company continues to set the standard in the garage door industry, and I'm here to tell you a few of the reasons why. First off, King
Let's
Door
go,
carries quality garage
Dodgers!
panels and LiftMaster openers, so you're guaranteed quality and
Sweet.
reliability
Where's
well
the broom?
beyond the reach of most garage
Where's the
door
broom?
companies, and it just gets better from there. King Door has a fleet of fully stocked service trucks with all the parts and tools to handle any job quickly and efficiently, and those trucks are manned by the most knowledgeable technicians anywhere. They have all the technical expertise imaginable and most up-to-the-minute training available. In fact, King Door is so committed to training that they have the King Door Academy, a full-size, state-of-the-art classroom right on the premises with all the latest teaching aids, including working garage doors to simulate any installation, repair, or technique. Your garage door is a very important part of the safety, security, and look of your home, so don't trust it to anyone but King Door Company. Call them today at 397-2744, stop by the showroom at 7450 District Boulevard, or check them out online at kingdoor.com. King Door Company, your company with the pride of a lion.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
Worthy is your name, Jesus.
It's a face.
You deserve
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. If you're happening to be watching on YouTube, I just dropped something on the floor in here, Chris. I had to get the broom, sweep it up. It looks like somebody was brewing something in here. I didn't know. Hold on. Let me get that. Sweep that right over there out of the way. On the way to the World Series, baby. We're finishing this tonight. I know Christopher doesn't think so, but he also thought they weren't going to win Game 3. But he's also a bitter Phillies fan.
That's not what I said at all. I just said if there was a game that the Dodgers were going to lose,
You did.
it was going to be Game 3.
Everybody was saying that though. Hey, if the Dodgers, the Brewers are going to win any game, it's going to be Game 3. Well, they didn't win Game 3, and they ain't going to win Game 4. The Dodgers are headed to back-to-back World Series, baby. Did you watch the game last night, Chris? Did you get to watch? Oh no, you guys were doing auto flight. How did that go? By the way, should grab Mr. Bailey and ask him how the day went. What did you guys get a total?
Just under $31,000.
Just under 31,000.
We are still taking donations.
We still are. How much is it to send one veteran? Do we know? I'm going to put a challenge to my listeners right now. If you have not donated to the Honor Flight fundraiser, please do so. And I want you to just note on it the JR Show, and I want everybody to try their best to get one. I'm folding up the thing. There's the QR code. If you can scan that. The listeners of the JR Show, we're going to try to raise enough to give this Honor Flight fundraiser to get one veteran on the flight. I think it's like $1,200 or something.
Something like that.
So if you can scan the QR code, just put you're a listener of the JR Show and you're donating it to the Honor Flight fundraiser. We're going to try to get one veteran on that flight from my show. Want to get out of here for the day? Hey, come join me tomorrow and all weekend long out at Via Arte. Tonight, I'll be out at the BCHS versus BHS football game, corner of Stockdale and Allen. Kickoff is at 7:30, and then the whole weekend, I'll be out at the marketplace. Just look for the beautiful, gorgeous, tall blonde drawing a butt on the ground. You'll get it when you see it. Got to make room for the Ralph Bailey Show. It's the JR Show. Lily, Dad loves you.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This
There is
96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at
I don't know if that's in focus or not.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. At the start of a meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky, President Trump says he believes progress is being made toward ending Russia's war with Ukraine.
I think that things are coming along pretty well.
All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out this
It began
week.
with Alaska, where I think guidelines were.
Hopefully next week I won't sound as nasally. But for reals, if you guys get out this weekend, go out to Via Arte. I will be out there. Come hang out. Be good to each other. No, Sergio. No, you didn't just say that. Hold on now. Hold on. I got to drop in the. Wow. Got you. Hey. Y'all be good to each other this weekend.